is definitely garden mum season, and you've probably been noticing a lot of mums at your local garden center, and they are a wonderful addition of color to the landscape this time of year. Well, it is a good time to plant them, and it's fun to add that little bit of color that blooms right away in your garden. And as you're picking out your mums, you'll want to look for a few things. And the first thing that you want to do, which I know is a little bit hard because you just kind of want some instant color, is you might just automatically walk up and want this mum that's already blooming. However, if you choose a mum that has the tight buds, you'll have a longer bloom time in your own landscape. So while you may look at the color on the ones that are already blooming, pick some with tight buds so that you'll get all of that bloom in your own garden. As you're looking for a spot to plant your mums, you'll want to pick a spot that has full sun and at least a half a day of sun. If you have at least a half day, that's all right. However, mums prefer a spot where they get sun all day long, and you also need to check for good drainage. Then as you're planting, you'll want to check the roots, and if they've kind of started to fill the pot a little bit, they're circling, just score the edge on each side, and that will stop that circling effect with your mums. And then just plant them at the same level that they're growing in the pot. Now, you don't need to add any fertilizer to these mums that you're planting right now. If we were planting these in the spring for fall bloom, we'd want to put some fertilizer in there with them. However, these are all set. They've been fertilized in the greenhouse and they're ready to go. So all we need to do is plant these and then make sure we keep them watered and not let them dry out if we're not getting any rain. So I'm just going to put my mum right in here, and we have basically instant color in our garden. Now, if you're planting them and you want to keep them there year after year, you're going to need to space them out about 2 feet apart. If you just want to plop some mums in for some instant color and then you're going to take them out later, then you can space them closer together so you've got that nice bit of color. Some people, if you would like, to line them up closer now and then take every other mum out so that then next year these have room to grow, that would be a good thing to do too. However, if you are planting them and you want them to come back next year, you're going to want to space them because they will grow quite a bit this next season. Now, the other thing that people like to do is when they're done, their mums are done blooming and the frosts have come and you've got all this foliage here that's dead, they like to come out and kind of maybe clean those off, just go ahead and cut that mum foliage off. Well, actually, the best thing that you can do for your mum in the winter is to leave that dead foliage and those flowers on over the winter. That helps to protect the crown of the plant, and also if we'll put some mulch around that, that will help too. And in the spring, right before they start to grow, that's the time that you want to remove that dead foliage. So just remember, you can plant them now. You don't need to fertilize them, just watch the water, and then leave that dead foliage on until the spring, and you'll have nice mums next year too. Well, in addition to the mums, asters are also a wonderful garden plant for the fall, and we've got one right over in our test garden that's looking very pretty, and I wanted to show it to you. Well, in addition to mums, asters make a wonderful plant for the fall garden. And right now they're just starting to bloom and add a lot of color. However, many times asters are a taller plant that tend to want to lie over when they get too tall. We've got an aster here that's actually nice and compact. Now, this is a New England aster, but it's actually a dwarf variety. And this is Purple Dome. And you can see here how it gets its name. It's a very nice, compact plant, kind of a dome of purple. It reaches about 2 feet tall with a spread of about 30 inches around, so you could actually position this a little bit closer to the front of your perennial border if you would like that nice purple color in the fall. Now, it is covered with beautiful purple flowers. They're about 1 inch in diameter, and you can see here we're just starting to get a good bloom, but if you look closer you can see that we've got a lot of bloom left to go, so we should get several weeks of brilliant purple color out of this plant. Now, we planted this in our test garden this spring. We received it from White Flower Farm, and it was about in a 4-inch pot, and you can see how nice it looks now. So we're very pleased with this New England aster that grows just a little bit lower and adds some nice color to the garden.